If you're new here, then please do come in, grab yourself a seat and get ready to learn lots all about this really, really interesting topic of recycling. We're going to be looking at the questions, particularly around part one, to how to answer part one questions, some of the vocabulary and language that you may need on the topic of recycling for IELTS speaking, but also for whatever situation you may want to be practicing your English in. Okay, it's a great topic. So nice to see you all. If you're here on YouTube, then please do press the subscribe button and that notification so that you can find out when my new videos are uploaded. I normally upload a video on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, and then of course there's the live class today every Thursday. Great, nice to see you all here. Just to remind you, the topic today up here is, I'll get it right one day, recycling. We're going to be looking at that, and I'm in the perfect room for recycling because it's my daughter's bedroom, and children, especially teenagers or even younger kids, recycling and reusing things is a great activity. So we'll have lots of examples. But first of all, who's in the house? Who's here? Let's have a look. Terry Lai, hello. And we've got Nev's Chicks, nice to see you from the Philippines. Good to see you again as well. Samira, you've got a problem with the reading section. Samira, read lots more. But today we're going to focus on speaking. Shamsa, hello. Mohit, hello. Nice to see you here. Dearly, hello. Thank you for your flowers. I love sunflowers. Very nice. Great. Zulfiya is back in the house. Welcome back. I'm glad to hear things are getting better in your country and you can connect with us. Merida, nice to see you. Who else is here? Mohammed Rana, Mahmoud, nice to see you. Hello, Vu Rose, all excited to see you. Me too, excited to be here. So, recycling. Welcome to the topic, everybody. Nice to see you all here. I'm going to show you, to begin, 3 objects. And I want you to type in the comments box, what do you think the 3 words are? Right? Each object represents a word. And I want you to think and then type in the word that it represents. Okay? Right. First object. Okay. First object is my little book, right? But if you look carefully at my little book here, okay, look carefully at the paper, right? Here is my little book. That's object number 1. What word is that? Object number 2, there are 3 words, so don't type yet. Wait till you get all 3 words. Here, we've got a little jar, right? But inside, we've got some garlic, right? And object number 3 is this one, okay? So each object represents a word. What are the 3 words? Let's see. Some of you have said paper. That's 1 word. Right, we've got 3 words here from Dylan. Whoever's got me 3 words can come on. Dylan, paper, plastic, organic. Not bad. I need 3 words. Paper jar full of garlic and banana. Well, Lee, that's true, but that's what they are. I want to know, what do they represent? Reza, thank you. Mary says paper recycling, glass and organic. Not bad, not bad. Ah, right, a few of you have got there. Anujon, reduce, reuse, recycle. Well done, well done. A few of you have got this actually. Shakun also had reduce, reuse and recycle, right? Exactly. Anybody else? I think a few of you got it. Yo-yo, recycle. So, and Yo-yo's got the right order. So just to explain exactly why this is the case. So recycle paper, right? This book uses recycled paper, paper that's been used again and made into something new. Yeah. This it used to have some kind of Chinese food in it. And then when the food finished, delicious, we then put the garlic, the bulbs of garlic in here to keep them fresh. Right? So we're reusing the glass jar. Reduce, because I went to my local supermarket and I picked up these bananas. And what's missing? The plastic bag, right? Normally, when you go to the shops, you get a plastic bag for the bananas. Ooh, look at that. You get a plastic bag for everything, and then there's packaging and wrapping, and then you put it all in other plastic bag. It's just a overdose of plastic, right? Death by plastic, literally. But here, all sticky. The bananas, right? There's no plastic. I just picked them up like that. So I was reducing the use of plastic. Nice, environmentally friendly. Right? So well done, those of you who've got that exactly. And that's a key thing, right? Recycle, reuse, and reduce. Because when we're talking about recycling, I think in the world of protecting the environment, it's not just about recycling, it's about reusing things, right? And reducing our use, especially of plastic, right? Reusing, here's another example, right? There you go. That used to be vanilla ice cream, used to be, but we reuse the plastic container, and we've now got dried fruit inside. It's actually, here, have one, have a look, right? It's raisins, dried fruit. Nice. So we're reusing the plastic container. Don't eat with your mouth full. Don't speak with your mouth full. To reuse it. There you go. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Yo-Yo, and everybody else who got that spot on. Brilliant. Now, a lot of other words came up there. You talked about plastic, organic, right? I'm going to look at some of the basic vocabulary we need to know to talk about recycling. So let's go in there. Let's have a look at my text. Useful vocabulary. I'm just going to take recycling off in a moment. So first of all, recycle. We can recycle plastic. There's lots of things we can recycle, but one of the key ones is plastic, right? We can also, of course, recycle paper and glass. We can reduce our use of plastic, especially plastic bags, and we can reuse items, right? So recycle, reduce. Notice reduce, although it's spelled with a D, right? It has a J sound. Let me come and join you. Here we are. It has a J sound. So it's a bit like orange juice, reduce, right? It's the same sound, reduce. Our plastic, reuse items. Great. Now notice the use here of the preposition. We can recycle plastic into other products, right? You can recycle plastic into bags, into clothes, into all sorts of things, right? So be careful with that. We use into, recycle something into something else. Other key words here, I think, obviously, things like waste, rubbish. So waste is anything you're not using again, right? When you've finished eating, you've got the leftover food, that's waste. Anything that you throw away is waste. In the UK, we say rubbish. So GB, Great Britain, UK, not the same, but for linguistic purposes. Rubbish, trash in the US, right? So if you hear trash or garbage, that's American English, but that's fine. You can use American English or British English, Canadian English. It's all good and fine. And it doesn't matter too much if you mix them up, right? In writing, especially academic writing, you need to choose one style, British English or American English, and stick to it, right? don't change. But when you're speaking, it doesn't matter. You know, even I do that, right? I sometimes say garbage because the influence of American English and American culture, pop culture, is so strong. It starts mixing up. So it's perfectly fine to mix British words and British English and American English. What else? Debris. Say that with me, right? Debris. Yeah, right. Notice the letter S is silent. Debris. Debris is just rubbish or waste. All of these can be used. If you've got lots of rubbish and you can put it in a bin, right, first of all. So in England, we have rubbish bins. I'll put that as UK, just to be a diverse. Rubbish bin, garbage can. I think they would say in the US. That's where you put the rubbish. If there's lots of rubbish, then you're going to put it in a landfill. Now, that's not next to your home. That's normally a mountain or a place that the government organizes to put all the rubbish, right? A landfill. It's just a big place where you put rubbish. Sometimes it's called a dumping ground, a landfill, dumping ground. In England, again, we call it a rubbish tip. I remember, get out of the way, Keith. I'll take that up. Rubbish tip. I remember growing up, right? My dad, we had so much rubbish. I can't remember why we had so much rubbish, but every week or two, my dad would put all the rubbish in the car, drive down to the rubbish tip, and I would go with him. And it would be great fun because we'd have to take out these crates and these cardboard boxes, and you have to smash them up into smaller pieces to throw them in the rubbish tip. And as a little kid, I used to love jumping up and down and breaking everything and then throwing it into the fire or the crushing area. That was the rubbish tip. That was an exciting afternoon out when I was growing up. And we've got biodegradable. Now, there's an important word, right? Biodegradable. What does biodegradable mean? Anybody out there know? Let's see. Why rubbish tip? Yo, why a rubbish tip? Because yes. Organic. Organic. Not exactly organic. Similar, but not exactly. Okay, green car is for biodegradable. Yes, different countries have different colours, right? For your stuff. Anything organic? Yes. This is better. Which decomposes, right? Anything which decomposes, getting closer. Oh, here we are. We're getting closer and closer. Imana, anything that can decay naturally. Brilliant. So to decompose, right, or decay means to fall into little pieces naturally. Great. Tim, it can dissolve with time. Yes. Able to be decomposed. Yes. Brilliant. All of those. So biodegradable, it can right? It's interesting, right? Decompose. If you look at it carefully, so compose is to make up. D is the opposite, right? To break down. So to break down, decompose naturally. Naturellement. Naturally can decompose. I've got to get out of the way. I'm in the way. Can decompose naturally. Exactly. That's biodegradable. Yeah, this is nice. It can decompose on its own and is eco-friendly. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Brilliant. Something which can be degraded. That's good as well, Mukul. Nice. Yeah, something which can be degraded. Camille expresses it beautifully. The rubbish biologically degrades and decomposes on its own. Beautiful, Camille. Excellent. I like it. So that's great. That's biodegradable. So it can decompose naturally. What things are biodegradable? Well, let's go and have a look. What kind of things are biodegradable? What kind of things are biodegradable? Well, come with me. Let's go and have a look, right? We're going to have a look over here. Biodegradable, then, as we've said, capable of being decomposed by bacteria. If you can you see that? Yes, just about. What kind of things are biodegradable? Well, let's find an example. Google's always got the answer. What is an example of biodegradable? Okay, so it says, right over here, substances that are non-toxic to the environment, comprising of only natural materials. For instance, fruits. Hey, my bananas are biodegradable. Look at that. These are biodegradable. Throw these on the ground, no problem, because they will decompose on their own. There is a problem because somebody's going to slip on them and break the leg. But I can say, well, I'm sorry about your leg, but at least I'm protecting the environment. Fruits, vegetables, flowers, right? Now, this is interesting. Animals, obviously, water, paper. So paper is biodegradable. That's interesting. I was doing a bit of research about paper and newspapers because somebody asked me, is a newspaper biodegradable? And the first answer then, well, is yes, because paper is biodegradable, right? Think about it. Paper comes from trees. It's natural. The problem is, of course, paper has some other additives. Sorry, the wood from the tree has other things additives, that make it into paper. So it's not purely natural. And then, of course, you've got things like ink. So on a newspaper, you have ink. On a magazine, you have plastic covering it. So throwing a newspaper or a magazine away on the ground is not good because it's not really biodegradable. Although apparently paper, pure paper, whatever that is biodegradable. Interesting, right? There were a couple of other things there. Other words, here we go. They transform into simpler units, and then we use them as fertilizers, manure, compost, biogas, and more. Now, yesterday, a couple of people were writing in the Facebook page, Facebook group, about things that they recycle, and the word fertilizer came up and compost. Because when you take, fertilizer and compost, when you take your bananas, I'm getting a lot of mileage out of my bananas. I'm glad you came. Thank you for coming to class. When I finish with these, I can peel them and take the peel and put that on the ground, and it becomes a kind of a compost. Like all the peel, apple peel, banana peel, leftover food, put it on the ground where my plants are, and it helps them because it's a kind of compost. So there were two interesting words there, which I'm going to add to my list here. Compost and fertilizer. Now, apparently, compost, helps the soil, which is where you grow things. Fertilizer helps the plants or the plant. So they're slightly different, but just a little bit, right? Great. And there's a couple of other words here which I thought were important. Separate and notice looking at the grammar, the prepositions. Separate food from household waste. That's a nice collocation, actually. Household waste. I separate food from household waste. The household waste might be newspapers, rubbish, I don't know, plastic bottles, other things, right? Or you can say segregate. It's a bit more formal, but it's a nice word. You can still use it when you're speaking. I segregate food from household waste. Or you can be very colloquial and use keep, which is a nice colloquial word. I keep degradable items separate from non-degradable, right? So we talked about biodegradable, which apparently is very similar to degradable. It decomposes. But if it's not, like plastic, then that's non-degradable things. Okay. So that is a nice bit of language as well. I keep degradable items separate from non-degradable items, right? And notice how we use the pausing here, right? Repeat this with me, because I think this will help you with your fluency, right? So instead of saying, I keep degradable items separate from non-degradable things, which is quite hard, even for me, right? We use pause. I keep degradable items, pause, separate from non-degradable things. Okay, so there's a pause in the middle. Repeat with me. I keep degradable items separate from non-degradable things. Nice. So the first thing is we're using pause to help us, right? The second thing is we use word stress on the word to help get the meaning, because we've got two opposites here, degradable, non-degradable. So those are the key words we stress. So listen and repeat. Notice the stress on degradable and non-degradable. I keep degradable items. You hear that? Gradable, degradable. Make it a little bit longer, a little bit higher pitched. I keep degradable items separate from non-degradable items. Non, right? Higher pitch, longer. Non-degradable items. Okay, so I'm doing this with you because I think it is so important, because sometimes we get lost in typing and writing and learning the word and not practicing enough. And it's one thing to write it, it's another thing to speak it. So really try and get some practice in with these words, thinking about pause, thinking about stress on the word. Okay, great, well done. Good. Let me check in with you, see how you're doing. Look at this. Can you imagine, Emmy? Can you imagine going to school, right, when you were a younger child, saying, "Sorry, teacher, I'm late. I overslept. Can you tell me what you're talking about?" your teacher would say, "Go home and go back to bed, young Miss Emmy Eman." Oh, great. But I will tell you what it is. We're talking about recycling, Emmy. Go and get yourself a coffee. Oh, and everybody's answered, right? Everyone's been much more polite than I am. Right. Okay, couple of quick questions from Yo-Yo. The difference between degrade and degradable. Degrade is a verb, to degrade. Degradable is an adjective. Right. Strong coffee. Absolutely, Shakan. She needs to wake up. You need to blow those cobwebs away, Emmy, and get on form, get into shape. Nice. Let's carry on with a bit more vocabulary before we move on to something more interesting. Well, not more interesting, different. So what do you do with rubbish? What do you do with rubbish? Well, you throw it away. There's many ways we can say throw away, right? And just to be clear, what I mean throw away is, here's the rubbish, throw away, right? Get rid of it. Maybe you put it in a certain container. Maybe you put it in a bin. I don't know, right? Everyone's going for coffee. Well, right, so am I. Great. Let's come back. Throw away, throw out, okay. Get rid of as well. Now, slightly more informal, toss away, toss out. So to toss is to throw, but it's more colloquial, more informal. But of course, IELTS Speaking is informal, so it's great. Dispose of is a little bit more formal. In fact, I'm going to write that, but it's absolutely fine. Slightly more formal, slightly. Donate. Donate is not to throw away. Well, okay, it can be. Yes, donate is to, I was thinking of when you throw out clothes, maybe you want to, maybe you want to donate the clothes. So donate is more really, if I'm being correct about this, is more giveaway. Okay. Now, really important here. Notice, right? This. Notice the linking. Throw away. Right? You've actually got three sounds. Throw, wa, way, wa, way, wa, way. Throw away. Try it. Try this. Wa, way. Throw away. Throw away. The same with the next one. Wout. Wout. Throw out. Throw out. Yeah. Similar, the next one. Get rid of. Dov. Dov. Rid of. Get rid of. Get rid of the bananas. Toss away. 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 Toss away. Toss away the apples. Right. The last one, also, all of these, you notice all of them are linking, right? Really important to be aware of this linking. Even the last one, dispose of. Dispose of. Sov. Dispose of. I'm going to dispose of my food waste. Right, excellent. Now, just to finish up some collocations here, these are well worth knowing if we're going to talk about recycling. Recycling program. So the government often has a recycling program. I'm sure in your country you have a recycling program. When you take, I don't know how it works in your country, but in England, the rubbish men, we don't call them dustbin men. The dustbin men come to collect the rubbish and they take it to the factory or the centre. We call it a recycling centre, right? So they'll take the plastic rubbish and put that in the recycling centre. Some countries call it a recycling factory. Recycling bins are the dustbins or the garbage cans that you have outside your house, or maybe inside your house. In Spain, we have them outside on the street. There's green, yellow, and blue. Blue is for paper, yellow is for plastic, and green is for glass. Oh, I'm a star citizen. Great. Recycling bins or recycling containers, right? It's the same thing, just to make that clear. Recycling containers. But we can also say recyclable, which is something that can be recycled. So recyclable items might include plastic, cardboard, etc., right? Lots of things. And that brings me on to my first big question for you. Let's see. Oh, nice. Yes, Ismail, recycling plant. Yes, let's add that in. There's a recycling plant. That's absolutely right. Now, this is interesting. So Sarab says in India, there is a machine where we put plastic water bottles and we get a coupon as a gesture. Ah, that's like a motivation for you to recycle. Nice. Natalia, yeah, rubbish skips. So the skip, I don't know where you live, Natalia, but in England and the UK, the rubbish skip are these big containers that you can rent. If you're moving house or doing renovation at home and you've got lots of rubbish, you can rent a rubbish skip and put all the rubbish in the skip, and then that is taken to the rubbish, to the landfill or the dumping ground, right? Rubbish skips. Yes. Let me show you what that looks like, at least in England, right? Just so, or pictures are worth 1,000 words, aren't they? I'll show you what these are in the UK, if you can see that. Yeah, so these are these big, normally metal containers, and you just fill them full of, if you're doing gardening or renovation, you know, building a house, things like that. Brilliant. Nice. Good. So it's time for my question to you, right? And the question basically is, do you recycle and why? Right? Do you recycle and why? Natalia, let's get rid of you for a moment. Throw you away. Do you recycle and why? And I'm going to join Emmy in my coffee as you answer. Recyclable. Why is it pronounced ankle? It just is. Recyclable. That's how we pronounce it. Which city? Me, I live in Santander. I live in Spain, actually, although I'm from Manchester, but I live in Santander. Right. You all have different dustbins. Great. Okay, let's put in a few things, a few comments that you've got here. LP, what a lovely cat. Nice one, LP. In Phil's, I assume that means Philippines, right? We bring plastic to the grocery store and then we get a discount from our purchase. Right, so it's that incentive, right? Or a motivation to do it. Right, nice. How about junk shop? That has a different meaning for me. Phil, not about recycling. It's just about a shop that sells second-hand stuff. So, do you recycle? Anybody? Emelina, good day. How are you? Right, hello. No, literally, that's the name. Hello, Nikki. Do you recycle? Yes, to help save our Mother Earth. Great. Valentina says, I do recycle. I like that, Valentina. That's lovely English, right? Not just, yes, I recycle. Yes, I do recycle, right? Emphasis, nice. I can almost hear you saying it. Yes, I do recycle, as I really believe it's very important to protect our environment. Great. Now, Fatima, I don't really know how to recycle. It's not your problem, actually. It's normally the government's problem if they don't have a good system or way of communicating to people how to do it, right? Snin says, yes, to conserve the environment. Very nice. You can protect the environment or conserve the environment. Duruti says, yes, we recycle and I do this to protect the environment. Remember, just to be clear, when we talk about the environment, because you're talking about the earth, we say the. It's the environment, right? It's the use of the article for that particular word, right? We do this to protect the environment. San Jun, yes, I'm used to recycling all trash. Excellent. Well done. Nice. Great. Pals says, yes, recycle is essential to have a sustainable environment to live in. Sustainable environment. Very nice. Nice collocation, right? Now, here, you need a noun at the beginning. So I'm going to change recycle. We would normally use the noun with the ing, right? Recycling as a noun. Recycling is essential. Noun, verb, object. Yeah, great. Same here, Mohammed. I recycle my bottle to save the environment. Let's put this down because this is a key one, right? I recycle to save the environment. That seems to be a common mistake, and probably because in your language you don't use the in this context, right? Probably. So I recycle to save the environment. We can put protect. We've had there. Somebody said conserve. Yeah, nice. Great. Thank you very much, Mohammed. Great. Danica says almost the opposite. Yes, I do. It prevents us from abusing the environment. Abusing, nice, nice. Nada H2M says, in my country, Libya, no, we don't. Why? I don't have any idea. Well, because probably there's no strong system for it, I suppose, right? Oh, this is nice. Devil's Channel. Devil's Channel? Yes, I do. For the sake of nature. Right now we have a serious problem with Seventh Continent. Yes. So I'm going to put that in. I do. For the sake of. Right? Which means for the sake of nature. Let me just move that down. That's a really nice expression to use. Devil's Channel, thank you. Nice avatar. I do for the sake of nature. That's nice. Very, very good. Any other people? Any else? Here's a nice one. Yeah, Jovi, it's environmentally friendly. Recycle because it's environmentally friendly. It sounds like a government slogan. Recycle because it's environmentally friendly. Yes, but it's good. It's great. So yes, because it's environmentally friendly. I can't see my letters. It's the trouble with having so many windows. Thank you, Bill Gates. Because it's environmentally friendly. Nice. Can you see that? Just about, yes. Some good expressions there. Yes, I recycle and why. Any others just to add one more? Yeah. Okay, let's add this one in because this one is almost there. Yes, I do. The reason behind this is it prevents pollution, right? Remember the S? And the remaining waste acts as compost, right? It prevents pollution and compost. I would use that as the noun, copula. Yeah, it prevents pollution and the remaining acts as compost. Lovely. I'm going to put this down here as well because that is also nice. Prevents pollution, act as compost. Both of those are nice collocations, phrases. Call them what you will. I'm just going to disappear for a moment. Yes, I do. The reason behind this is it prevents pollution and the remaining waste acts as compost. Great. Very, very nice. I'm just going to get rid of that for a moment and I'm going to come back. So you recycle. A lot of you there do recycle and with different reasons. What else have I got? I'm just going to add these in to save trees. There we go. We can recycle to save trees. We can protect the environment, conserve natural resources, protect wildlife, right? Also endangered species. Because plastic, what happens to plastic? If you're in the Facebook group and you did the spicy challenge about watching the video, it tells you what happens to plastic, right? Well, there's different places it goes, but one place it goes is if you throw it in the street, it can go down into the sewage, which goes into the river, which goes into the sea, which is full of plastic, and you have these huge garbage patches, massive, the size of cities in the sea, and of course animals eat it. And some animals eat the plastic, they think they're full, they stop eating food, and they starve to death. And it's tragic. but lots of animals in the sea die because of plastic. So we have endangered species, right? So you've got another reason to recycle, to protect wildlife and endangered species. Some nice ideas there. Right. So, here's my tips for part one, because a lot of these questions, right, are typically part one questions. Let me come back in the picture. Things, short questions in part one, asking about you, right? Do you recycle? So part one's always about you, right? You'll notice that. So make sure that you talk about about you, right? Try not to talk about your Uncle Thomas or the rest of the people in your country. Talk about you. It's personal. But my tip for part one is, if you think about it, right? People say, a lot of students ask, how long should I speak? And the normal answer is, well, 3 sentences, maybe 4 sentences. But that depends how quickly you speak, right? If you're a band 8 or possibly a band 7.5, 3 sentences could be very fast, right? So, I could say, well, I recycle because it's good for the environment. I do separate paper and pens. I do separate paper and food. And I think everybody should. That was like 5 seconds. Now, that's a bit short. So the higher up your level, I think, don't think so much about sentences. Think about time, right? Think about time. And mathematically, it works out about 20 seconds per question in part one. So I think it's a really good practice, even if you're band 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, is to time yourself, right? And I do this with students, and it sometimes shocks them. And they go, oh my God, is that 20 seconds? And it's like really hard, because sometimes it's not long enough, and sometimes it's too short. So look, all you do, I'm sure on your phone you've got one of these, right? So on your phone, get your timer, excuse me, and just put the timer on for 20 seconds and practice speaking for 20 seconds to get a feel of what it's like, right? Now, you'll find at the higher levels this gets harder. So let me show you, right? I'll see if I can speak. I'll put the timer on. I'll answer the first question. Do you recycle? Do you recycle? Yes, I do. We've got at home, we've got different bins where we put plastic in one, paper in another, and then I take them downstairs and I put them in the recycling containers on the street. And those are taken away to the dumping ground by the government. Right? You see, what happens is, I thought that was so long. I was like, oh my God, I can keep on going. Maybe I was speaking quite fast, but having that timer is a really good practice to get used to the feeling of 20 seconds, right? Let me try another one. What do you recycle? So what do you recycle? In our house, we recycle paper, obviously, and cardboard. We do recycle, well, we don't recycle glass. Well, we do. We put glass into the containers, but I would say actually we reuse a lot of glass jars in our home, especially for different kinds of... So what happens as well is that this will stop you going into too much detail. So if you are a person who rambles a lot, right? A person who goes here, 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 and you start giving so much detail, like I wanted to talk about my garlic in the jars and stuff and reusing, and there's not enough time. So that 20-second limit also stops you from going round and round and round and round the houses, right? It helps you focus. Short answer, develop a little bit. So guys, try it out, right? Later, not now. After the class, try it out. Get your timer, 20 seconds. Get these 3 questions. Very simple, but for any topic, I think it's a nice approach. It's a very good strategy. Great. Good. Let me check in with you guys. Let's see how you're doing. Great. Somebody recycles the cups of Starbucks. PT. It's stylish and fashionable to use at home. Yeah. That, I think, PT, is it recycling or is it reusing? I think it's reusing. But that's great. The important thing is to talk, right? Can a rambler get band 7? Well, yes, but you have to control your rambling, right? You have to control your rambling. One of the great ramblers, who is fantastic, is Luke, right? Teacher Luke from Luke's podcast. He loves to ramble and he knows he rambles. And when we did the test together, which you can see on YouTube, he did ramble a bit. But so long as you control the rambling a little bit, yes, you'll be fine. This is lovely, Mama. Nice expressions. To tell you the truth, I would say that I do recycle daily because it helps to keep the environment, well done, spick and span. Lovely. Tidy, clean, spick and span. And I am a stickler in keeping my environment neat. Right, I love it. A stickler means you're very serious about it and really strong about it. Yeah, nice. Good. Jose Matthew, what are you doing? Right, 20-second tip, that's it. Sarah, exam on Saturday, best of luck. I hope it goes well for you. Right, rambling is when you go around the houses, is when you talk and talk and talk with no focus. Yes, Tim, we're going to do Kahoot, but not just yet. Stick with me. I'm going to move on to another topic. Yes, and this one, okay, this comes up. It's a good question. And to get into a bit more specifics, right, is this one. So another question for you guys. What should we recycle? Let me bring that down a bit. What should we recycle, right? Think about your degradables, biodegradables. Think about your containers, but think about the objects and the items. What should we recycle? Yes. Yeah, great. What should we recycle? Okay. Bottles, good. Plastics, good. Nella, I'm curious. Why have you got a question mark at the end of your name? Are you not sure about your name, or is that really your name? That's interesting. Right, plastic. Now notice we can say plastic, but can we say bottle? There's a problem there because bottles, right, are countable. So make sure that you say bottles. But that's a great example, right? Bottles. Like boxes are countable, right? Boxes as well. Boxes, great. Things that are uncountable, metal, excellent. Non-biodegradables. Now we can use non-biodegradables as a countable noun. It's a non-biodegradable. So you can do it as a countable noun. Non-biodegradables like plastic. Great. Alia says paper, plastic, glass. Donate clothes. Like it. Good. Right, Emmy, I'm going to come to your question in a moment. It's a good question. Great. Paper, plastic, glass, clothes. Great. Very quick question from Emmy. What's the difference between recycling and reusing? So reusing is where you don't change the state of something, right? Take my jar of garlic, right? I haven't changed the jar. It's still the same jar, but the use is different. Recycling, I would change the state. I would heat it or melt it or break it into smaller pieces and then make something different. So I'm changing the state of the object. That's the difference. Great. What should we recycle? So I've said, well, right, when it comes to recycling, we can recycle plastic, glass, paper. Oh, cardboard was the other one. Somebody said boxes, and I was thinking of cardboard. And do you know what cardboard is? Look, let me show you. Let me show you this. Great, from being in my daughter's bedroom. Now, my daughter has made this. She's reused some cardboard. And if you look closely, you can probably guess. Can you guess what this was before? Let me see. Can anybody guess? It's a cereal box. Light? No light. It's a cereal box. Cereal in the morning, right? So I don't know if this was Weetabix or shredded wheat. It wasn't cat food, Q. it was our food, our cereal, right? It was cereal. This one. Nada, where are you? Kellogg's, that'll do. Kellogg's, exactly. Kellogg's or cereal box. So she took the cereal box, she cut it up, and she used the same box to make a game, right? So that is her reusing the cardboard. It's not paper, it's cardboard. That's cereal boxes are made of cardboard. That's basically what I was saying. Rambling, I know. You can we can recycle blah blah blah. We can also say, right, common recyclables are, because remember, recyclables can also be a countable noun, right? Common recyclables are plastic, glass, cardboard, boxes, food, leftovers. Leftovers is the leftover food, right? But as a noun, let's say the remaining food, the uneaten food, because you were too full and you couldn't finish it. So common recyclables are leftovers, batteries, used oil, right, as well. When you finished the oil from your cooking or from where else? From machinery, I'm not sure about that, but used oil. So when it comes to recycling, we could recycle blah, 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 blah. Or common recyclables are, nice word, right? Common recyclables are plastic and glass. And certainly in my house, we do recycle plastic and glass and cardboard. We segregate the cardboard paper into a different container from the food and the other one, the glass. Whoa, it's so complicating recycling, isn't it? Here we go. There it is. By putting it into separate containers or bins, we call it. Yes, great. And coming up of what you were talking about, Emmy, the difference there. When it comes to reusing, we can make good use of. So here, if you want to talk about reusing, we can make good use of old clothes. Selling secondhand clothes online is all the rage now. I don't know if that's in your country, but there's now lots of apps on the phone where you can take a photo of your clothes, you upload it, you then put it out there and people can buy it, and then you send it to them, and it's great. We've got Wallapop over here, or Vinted, and these online places to sell second-hand clothes. So that's reusing, if you like. We can make good use of. Make good use of. That's a nice expression. We can make good use of old clothes. Instead of throwing them away or tossing them out or getting rid of them, you can sell them online. It's all the rage, right? All the rage. It's all the rage is very, very fashionable. At least in Europe. Very fashionable now. Great. I wonder if you have that in your countries. Yes. Brilliant. Good. Old clothes. We can make good use of notes and magazines. These can be used for craft work projects or activities with kids. There you go. Yes. We can also do refurbishing. Yes, that's right as well. Brilliant. Some nice examples there. Good. Excellent. So now, where are we? I'm looking at next. I've got one eye on the time and one eye on the next activity. I'm going to go and go straight into the model answers bit, because I think it would be nice to do a few model answers with you. I also need some water. I'll go through, well, let me do this. Let me put myself here, right? Model answers. I would like to ask you to ask me a question on this topic, right? And I will try and answer the question. And then later we'll share these notes with you and you can go back and analyze them. Yes, brilliant. Right, good question. Okay, those are questions. Yes, that's a different question, but question about recycling. Well, okay, I see what you're saying. What's the difference between recycle and recycling? So this is a grammar or a linguistic question rather than IELTS question. So recycle and recycling. Well, they're both okay. To recycle is the usual verb. I recycle paper. I recycle glass. Recycling is the noun, right? I like recycling. I think recycling is good. That's the basic difference. One is a verb, one is a noun, right? Yes. That's where I'm going to leave it there before it gets into more complicated things. Old cars, they should go to the metal press and not just rot at the dump. That's nice, Anastasia. Nice. Okay. Good. Let's take this question. It's a good future question. Will you recycle in the future? It's a good question, isn't it? Will you recycle in the future? I'm just going to take that. I'm going to try and put it up here. Great. Thank you, Saurabh. Okay. Will I recycle in the future? To be honest, I think I'm going to recycle more and more in the future. On the one hand, the systems that the government has are being refined and polished and getting better and better, which makes it easier for me to recycle. But also, I think there's a dire need for people generally to recycle more to save the environment. So I want to do my bit to help conserve the environment, and I think recycling is going to play a key role in doing that. So I will undoubtedly recycle more in the future. Nice. Great. Lovely question. Thank you very, very much. Ooh. Right. This is a nice question, and I think this one is a very common kind of question. How will you raise awareness about recycling in your town? It's a lovely question. It sounds like I'm going to be the activist or the politician. So, Mr. O'Hare, how will you raise awareness about recycling in your town? What's your policy going to be? Wow, it's a good question. I'm glad you asked. Hang on a minute. Why doesn't it move? Come on. There we go. There we go. Right, good question. I do feel like I'm a politician. Vote for Keith. How will you raise awareness about recycling in your town? Okay, well, I think it's really important for young people and old people alike to learn more about recycling and how important it can be. So I think one of the key things I would do is I would first of all do a social media campaign, maybe with some memes and videos showing people how to recycle. That's probably the most important thing. But then also showing them the impact, the positive impact of recycling. And I think that's a really good way to do it because lots of people nowadays get their main information through social media. So it's a channel where we can reach them and have a bigger impact. So yes, I think that would be my key focus if I had an awareness campaign on the topic of recycling. Vote for me. Right. Great. Good. Raising awareness, an awareness campaign. Yes. So I was quite logical there, wasn't I? I rambled a little bit, but I think I said what I would do, the social media campaign, a bit of detail, right? Videos and memes. And then the reason why, because it's a channel where people get their main information. That was quite logical for me. I'm not always that logical. I'm very proud of myself. Well done, Keith. Pat on the back. Great. Let's take one more question. Wow. This is a part 3 question. This is a really tough one, and I am going to regret choosing this, but let's try it because I think it's such a good question. How can a nation be developed by recycling? Wow. How can a nation be developed by recycling? Okay. Oops. Something's happened. It's not letting me take things up. Let's try that. Right. Thank you, Matiul. Right. It's a very good question. Thank you very much for the question. No, don't say thank you very much. Okay, I'll begin again. I think this is an interesting question. And on the one hand, I'm not sure that a nation can be developed by recycling, but there are clear benefits to recycling. So I think on the one hand, you can raise the awareness and the kind of the educational level of the general public through government campaigns to understand how to recycle and the importance of recycling. So that's one clear benefit. I guess on the other hand, if we are recycling plastics and glass and other items, non-biodegradable items, then although, yes, we're protecting the environment, we're probably going to have a positive impact on industry as well. Initially, it may have a negative impact on the economy and industry because it might be more expensive, but in the long term, it's surely going to make the economy stronger because we will have sustainable resources that we can use to develop the economy. So I guess in the long term, yes, it will help a country develop their own economy, as well as the general education level of the general public. Ooh, that's a very difficult question because I've never thought about that before. I mean, I've thought about education, yes. And to be honest, I actually think it does. It's a negative thing. It's incredibly costly for companies to start recycling stuff and to not use plastic. And most companies don't. Like in the supermarkets, right? There's so much packaging and plastic because it's actually cheaper for them to do that. Because without it, customers are not going to buy It's also habit, right? People are trained and have this habit and expectation that things are in plastic, it's cleaner. And if it's not in plastic, you think it's not so clean. So there's that mentality or mindset of the customer that is key. I think this is a hugely complex question, but a very, very good one. This is the kind of question, right? If I were a student, I would go on the internet, I would do some research, and I would look at the different arguments for it. And I would be taking notes of the vocabulary, the collocations that I could use. And I would practice and practice with my speaking partner, discussing the idea, because it's a tough one, right? But what a great question. Nice. Great. So I'm going to leave model answers there before I get myself into more trouble. No, not at all. Some great questions. Thank you very much. All those questions are nice, and ones that I think, you can be practicing yourselves with the 20-second tip if it's a part 1 question. A lot of these are also part 3 questions where you'll speak longer. Do the same on your timer. Put 40 seconds. If it's part 3, try the 40 seconds, and that'll really push you, right? Like at the gym. Nice. So, Pradeep, it's Kahoot time. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, I love these questions. Great questions. I love to do them, but it is Kahoot time. Kahoot, if you don't know, you may be new here. I don't know. If you are new, then please do check out my website, by the way. It's the Keith Speaking Academy, and I am updating lots of stuff there. So to give you more resources, so you can look at all of these topics we're doing in the live class. You can download the notes. You'll be able to look at them and read them on the website directly. And it's great. I'll show you before we do the Kahoot. Let me just show you on the website to make sure you know where to go. About 3 or 4 hours after the lesson today, go to the Keith Speaking Academy, the free live lessons up there, right? You can go there, and that's where you can get the download the lesson notes from past topics, right? We've done ambition, we've done business, money, photography. And what I'm doing, of course, is not only downloading, but I'm doing click. So you can get the vocabulary directly on your mobile phone, because I know so many people are on mobile phones. So if you want to get the information directly there, you can go and look at different things, essential vocabulary, and you've got it all there. Very, very, very easy. So it's a nice little lesson for you to practice. And I'm doing more and more of these with the help of some great people, some of the students who are helping me out. So thank you very much, you guys, as well. Excellent. Now, Kahoot. I need a minute to set up. Kahoot is an online gaming platform. We're going to do a bit of a game, and it's a way for us to practice vocabulary through the game and to see how much you have remembered or how much you've paid attention in today's class. I assume that you do pay attention, but this is really keeping you on your toes. That's a nice expression. Keep you on your toes means to keep you awake and paying attention, right? So it's a nice way of doing it. So we've got 4 questions. You'll need to go into the website, www.kahoot.it. Let me take this one off. Where is it? Take that one off. And then you can go there and do it. So I'm going to just share the screen with you now. So we're going to play Kahoot. This is where you need to go. We're going on the classic game, of course. So get ready to join, right? Go to www.kahoot.it and put in your name and the game pin. 125-8746. 125-8746. I'm so small here. Why am I so small? Dun, 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 dun. Why am I so small? That's a bit strange. I don't know. Maybe I'll just disappear. Great, you're all coming in really fast. That's nice. We've got Mel, we've got Susan, Hamta, Soy. Brilliant. I'll just give you a few seconds to all jump in. Don't worry if you can't find it. You can also put your comments in the comment section below. That's absolutely fine. Vika, it's my pleasure. Thank you for the comment. And the same Gurbaksh. Thank you very much. It's very encouraging, motivating. Thank you so much for those comments. That's great. Excellent. So I think most of you, a lot of you are in. So let's go into the game. I think you can still keep joining. Okie dokie. Start. Let's start. Recycle. We should separate food blank other waste. Were you paying attention? We should separate food blank other waste. Let's go. You've got 15 seconds left. Well done, Alexa. Ayush. Well done. Nevs, well done. Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah, we've got 80 people there who said from. Exactly. Well done. We should separate food from other waste, right? Nice. Well done. Next, let's see. Oh, scoreboard. Right, top of the pops. Hung Tran, well done. Tonksy, you're there again. Second, and Gautam as well. Third. How do you guys always pop up near the top? But let's see. Question number 2. Which is the odd one out? So which one is different, right? Which is the odd one out is which one is different. Throw out, get rid of, gather, or dispose. Well done, Kaveh. Raki, well done. Yeah, oh, that's fantastic. That's a really good response rate. Over 100 people got gather, because to gather is to collect. All the others mean throw out, throw away, get rid of, to dispose of. Great, well done, nice. Excellent. Let's see how the scoreboard is doing. Oh, new people coming in. Sefa, well done. Van is number 2. And Tonksky is still holding on by the skin of her teeth. Or his teeth, I don't know. Question number 3. Multi-select. That means there are 2 possible answers. We have 3 different blank bins. There are 2 possible answers here. Two answers. Right, by and large, pretty good. So recycling bins or recycle bins, right? Good. Remember, recyclable is things that you are able to recycle, like plastic, food, glass, right? That's recyclable. Recycled is something that has already been recycled. But here we talk about recycling bins or recycle bins. Yep. Nice. Well done. Let's move on. Let's see. Is Sefa still there? Van has moved up, and Jera into second, and is in third place. Ooh, interesting. I think we're on the next question. Is it the fourth question? I've lost count in all the excitement. Clint Eastwood used to say, I've lost count in all of the excitement. So what is it? Is it number 3? It's number 4. Which of the following is biodegradable? Ha, this will test you. Which of the following is biodegradable? Interesting, right? Right, it was an apple. Now, I understand a lot of you have said a newspaper as well, but I will go back to my conversation about the magazine and the newspaper, that they have ink and some plastic in the paper, which means it's not 100% biodegradable. The paper is biodegradable, but a newspaper, not quite. Although you can argue with me, and I'd be very happy to have the argument. Just don't argue with the IELTS examiner. It's an apple. Clearly, that's the one that is most biodegradable, is the apple. Good. That was a little bit of a test of your knowledge on recycling. So let's see, where do we stand? Who's on the podium? Number 3, Tonksi. Well done. Second, First, Van. Well done. Hooray. Nice one. Still going. Van, lovely, like it. Well done, my friend. That's great. So that means, well, it doesn't mean anything. It means that you've done very well in remembering and paying attention and keeping on your toes throughout the whole class. Nice. So as we come now towards the end of the class, I just had a question, and I was going to answer this question at the start of the class, but I'm going to answer it now because a few students have been asking the same question, so I thought I will explain it here. It was, what was the difference between the 2 courses that I have, right? I have 2 courses. There's the IELTS Speaking one, which is the first course. And then there's this new course called Fluency for IELTS Speaking. And a lot of students have said, well, which one should I do? What's the difference? So very simply, right? Help. This one over here. IELTS Speaking Success Get a Band 7 is a complete course that gives you, it's based on model answers and it's based on topics. So it covers lots of the different topics for part 1, part 2 and part 3. And it gives you model answers. And so you're learning the idioms, the vocabulary, the grammar, the different ways of answering questions. It's a complete course to prepare you for the IELTS speaking test, right? That's the main thing. Now, this course, Fluency for IELTS Speaking, focuses particularly on fluency. So if you have trouble with fluency and hesitation and getting your words out, speaking at a good pace, this is the course for you. What it focuses on is it helps you to automate, to make automatic a lot of the grammar as you're speaking. There's a strong focus on phrasing, which we practice today, right? We're giving a short phrase, a pause, a short phrase, and there's a strong emphasis on intonation, the D, 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 D. So you're improving your pronunciation, you're automating a lot of the grammar, so you're not thinking about it, which is the problem with fluency, is people are thinking, is it he goes, he went, and that's slowing you down. So it's automating that grammar. And that's what we do in the fluency test. It's a really intensive gym workout. You're sat with me with this video, and I'm telling you to repeat again, and I'm modeling different answers for you until you get them really, really well. The idea is not to memorize the answer, but to build your fluency. And it's, I think, quite a powerful course. I try to make it as fun as well, so it's, interesting to do. And that's the new one. So if your focus is fluency, then that as well can be. You can do both, of course. I like to multitask, so I like to do 2 courses at the same time, but you may want to focus on one. And if you're focusing on one, this might be the one, the IELTS Speaking Success, because that's the complete course. And then maybe after that, you could top up and try the fluency course if that's a problem for you. So I hope that helps, because so many people were asking. I thought I'd better try and explain the difference between them. Great. That's it. Listen, guys, it's been great fun today. I hope this is useful. I will get the notes ready. And again, there are people helping with the notes. Thank you so much for your help, guys. Getting the notes ready. They'll be on the website in about 3 or 4 hours, more or less. If you don't find it, come back tomorrow. They'll definitely be there. And thank you so much. If anybody is doing the IELTS test in the coming days, best of luck. Take care, relax, enjoy the test. And I'm sure you'll have a great, great time. And that's it. Just look out for the video at the weekend. The video at the weekend is me doing a mock test with a student. And you can see how they do, what score they get, why they get it, and how they can improve. Okay, great. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care now. Bye-bye.